Hey, what's going on everybody? How y'all doing? And welcome back to the channel today. So today we're going to be going ahead and checking out a game that was free in the Steam store. Ha! Surprise, I didn't pick one from Game Jolt this time. Either way though, it was free in the Steam store. It came out in about November-ish. I don't remember the exact date. My wife actually sent me this game because she told me that I have to play it. I'm assuming she saw somebody else play it and then probably wanted to see my reaction to it. I actually have no idea what this game is about whatsoever, but I can only assume that it's probably one of those types of games that it's probably not what it seems to be. Either way though, we're going to go ahead and get into it here and check it all out and see what it's all about. So let's go ahead and swap on over and see what we're starting with. I have no idea what the controls are. Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Okay. Kyle is host of the Kyle is host, not is the host, is host. Is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory. Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. What? Hold on. Inside, I'm assuming is a reporting company, has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. What the f am I getting into? Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Okay? Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. I could not pronounce that word to save my life for a second. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open. I was going to say Kyle cracked a beer for a minute. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. That's a long time to prepare. He must choose his actions wisely. Start preparing. Okay. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Exit the bed, wither away. What the fuck? Okay, we're going to go ahead and exit the bed because I don't feel like withering away. That took 1 hour to exit the bed? Jesus Christ, Kyle, you fat, lazy sack of bastard. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around the room. Open the closet, sit at the desk, scavenge, exit bedroom to hallway. Why would I be scavenging in my own house? Or apartment, wherever the hell I sit at? I'm gonna exit the bedroom to the, you know what? We gotta get dressed. So we exited the bed, took a quick, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Okay, choose an outfit. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important his appearance is. Jeans and swimming goggles, definitely not. Skunk pasties, no. Slick suit, suit of armor. Now, suit of armor would be pretty badass, but, you know, this is a professional standard, so we'll go with the slick suit. Kyle miraculously crammed his dumpy body into the suit. The chest pockets were filled with random knickknacks. Okay, back to the room. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. All right, well, we got to sit at the desk. We got to prepare some questions. Kyle's made his way over to the desk. Write notes for the interview. Yes. Kyle wrote down his first question. Are you a mother? Am I a mother? Is your mother a mother? Well, that's pretty obvious because, you know, she's born. So, are you a mother? Kyle wrote down a second question. What are some diet tips? Beef, mashed or blended? Why would you blend your, what? Ever eaten a raw egg whole? No, what the fuck? What kind of questions are these? Okay. What are some diet tips? Kyle wrote down his third question. What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? Okay. I don't think we're interviewing Kristen Stewart. I purposely ran over a puppy. What the Kyle wrote down his last question. What's your guilty pleasure? Do you feel guilty? Are you guilty? What the Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Back to the desk. Check in desk drawer. Kyle opened up the side drawer desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. Small key, assorted change, back to desk. Small key. Okay, grab the small key. Back to the room. I guess we'll scavenge real quick. Kyle quickly crouched down to the floor, realizing his immediate need for... bugs? No, back to the room. Shit, I'm running out of time. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the room of his apartment together. Leave apartment, return to bedroom, move to kitchen. Well, you need to eat some breakfast first, dude. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Open fridge. Kyle opened the fridge, intending to find something to eat. Eat crust on fridge wall. Eat the fridge. Prepare breakfast. Eat condiments. We're going to prepare breakfast. We're not going to eat the fridge. Kyle constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with small fruit cup and grilled sausage. Eat. We're not going to smash our food. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. That noise did not sound like somebody eating at all. Return to the kitchen. Return to the hallway. Check locked door. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway. Force the door open with forehead. I don't think I want to do that because we're going to be going to an interview right now. Leave apartment. Visit downstairs neighbor. Visit tech store. We're going to go ahead and visit the tech store. Ask attendant for free samples. Steal tech... What? No, we're not stealing anything. Ask attendant for free samples. Sure. No. Return to the street. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road, took a long pondering look around him. Return to apartment or visit downstairs neighbor. Sure. More. Kyle hurried to the set. More. Kyle, sitting across from his host chair, was a glamorous woman with an air of genuality. Or genuine. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. She was very genuine. God damn it. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Approach Rachel. Good evening, Kyle, she said. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking at him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded, so what would you do for this? No, I'm just joking. Scream and spin in circles. I really feel like Kyle is on the verge of a nervous breakdown, and nothing is about to go right whatsoever. What I do want to do after this is I want to go through and I want to answer all the crazy questions. But I might even come back and revisit this game because apparently there's supposed to be multiple endings. So we'll see what happens from the rest of the time here. Answer politely. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest. Shake hands. After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. Oh yeah? We got some good news music going? A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Start broadcast. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle, introduced Rachel. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. What's your, are you a mother? Rachel, I and many others would love to know, are you a mother? Kyle looked up from his notes. Well, being a single woman with a career, she answered, that's not something that has crossed my mind. Rachel smiled genuinely at Kyle. Very reasonable indeed, said Kyle. He referenced his paper of questions. What's your funniest story? You've been involved in a lot of different things, said Kyle, but what's your funniest story? Well, that's a great question, Kyle, said Rachel. I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family, and then they all died. In the soup I made, I swapped out the water with milk and tipped the whole jar of salt in the pot. Wow, how do you screw that up? While my family was sick from trying to eat it, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room. Okay. Rachel laughed elegantly. Kyle decided to move on. What are some diet tips? Rachel, you managed to keep such a thin and healthy figure, said Kyle. What is your best diet tip? Well, I throw up in the bathroom every night after I eat. Well, a good diet starts with a plan, answered Rachel. No shit. And don't break it. Cheat days can turn into a habit. Not necessarily. But, she continued, that doesn't mean a midnight snack here and there isn't allowed. Wouldn't that be considered cheating and contradictory to what you just said? Kyle looked at his flabby self, decided not to comment, and moved on. Kyle asked another question. What's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Ooh, well, that's an easy answer, said Rachel, dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. That doesn't sound like it's a diet at all. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time. I eat it far too often, Rachel smiled. Do. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Do you prepare your interviews in advance? Because you seem very together. Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. Kyle prepared very well. Oh, see? Endings unlocked. 1 of 21. There are 21 endings to this game. So I think as far as like an introduction to this game, that went well, but let's see if we can get something more interesting. Let's just go for some of those, return to the menu. Let's see if we can get some of those crazy endings. Oh, okay, all right. Let's see. Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Skip. Oh! Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. We're still going to exit the bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. Okay. We're going to exit the bedroom to the hallway. We're going to move to the kitchen. We're going to check the pantry this time. No, back to the kitchen. We're going to open the fridge. Kyle pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he had wrapped his mouth around the device. He started to swallow. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat. What the fuck is this guy? After many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out. What the heck? Okay, return to the hallway. We're gonna check the locked door. Okay, so that's locked now. The only other option is to force it open with our head. Kyle decided it would be best to try and force the door open with use of his face. After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term amnesia. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna leave the apartment real quick. We're gonna visit the tech store. We're gonna steal Techno Gem. Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Gem by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Gem's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to pull upwards forcefully. After several tugs, Techno Gem broke free, leaving 1 foot and 1 leg behind. Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring bewildered, and ran outside. Continue with day. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road, took a long pondering look around. Okay, well, we're gonna visit the neighbor downstairs. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. She looked at Kyle expectantly. Consume Gabby? We're eating people now? Kyle unhinged his jaw and swallowed Gabby whole. What in the living... Okay, alright. We're just eating people now. Job done. Kyle returned to the middle of the street. Kyle walked out into the... Okay, returned to apartment. Because we're out of time now. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman. Okay. As Kyle approached Rachel, Rachel looked up and smiled. Because we never went to the closet. We never put clothes on. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock as she realized Kyle had not put on any clothes that day. He's just like probably nude or in boxers. Kyle waved and smiled broadly. Rachel uncomfortably averted her eyes. Kyle started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. As it became apparent that Kyle had no intention of leaving, Rachel made some excuses and exited the set. One by one, the crew followed suit. Kyle was left all alone. Kyle prepared by being a nudist. Oh, so he was completely nude. Okay. All right, so that's 2 different endings of this game. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this here because this can definitely yield some interesting results. So I will definitely be revisiting this game since, you know, there's more endings to get through. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I am going to go ahead and get on out of here, and I will talk to you later. So until next time, bye.